what's up? So from my first 5 videos on this channel, I got to 100,000 subscribers. And I did this without any team. It was just me in my bedroom when I was 16 and 17 posting videos. So how did I do it? You know, success on YouTube normally looks like magic or chance, but realistically, that's not how the world's largest media company would calculate how to recommend videos to its users. The way the algorithm works is actually quite simple. Think about when you go on YouTube as a viewer. The algorithm recommends you the videos that are the most likely to engage you. So on your channel, if you post the videos that are the most likely to engage as many people as you possibly can, then the algorithm is going to recommend your videos to the maximum number of people. So if you want to make videos that the algorithm's going to show to hundreds of thousands or millions of people, and you don't yet have an audience or anything else to bring traction to your channel, then, well, let's start with the question, what does it actually take to make a great video? I've always made my best videos by simply creating my personal favorite video to watch. For each of the thousands of tiny creative decisions that go into each video, I simply did whatever I felt was the most entertaining, interesting thing to do. And this is the same philosophy as Rick Rubin, who wrote this book on creativity. He's a music producer. He worked with Johnny Cash, Red Hot Chili Peppers. He co-founded Def Jam, and he wrote this book on creativity. And in it, he wrote, "There is no more valid metric to predict what someone else might enjoy than us liking it ourselves," which is exactly the same for YouTube videos. So when I started this channel and got to 100,000 subscribers in my first 5 videos, it really was that simple. I was just making the videos that I liked more than my favorite videos in the niche that already existed. But unfortunately, this strategy won't work for you, at least not yet, because I already had a channel before I started Learn by Leo, and that channel had been successful, and through that experience, I'd gained the 3 abilities that you need for YouTube. The first ability is that I was really sensitive to the tens of thousands of details that it takes to make a really good video. Here's an analogy for this. Let's say that you're a musician and you make a song, and then you compare that song you made to your favorite songs that already exist. And you find that you like those other songs far more than you like your own song. But don't take this in a discouraging way. Seeing room for improvement is the first step to growth. So if you can determine why you like those other songs more, then you can see how to level up your own song. But there are thousands of details that go into what sets the songs apart. So what you need to do, whether it's songs or YouTube videos or anything else, is you need to study that content to gain increasingly more awareness of what it takes to get and keep your own attention and what it takes for a video to be super enjoyable to you. Luckily, this is a very fun and easy process. You take your 5 favorite videos from your niche that are popular, and then you study them, you figure out exactly why you like them. And chances are the reasons that you like these videos are going to be pretty similar to the reasons that the other hundreds of thousands or millions of people that watch those videos also liked them. And that's the main way that I learned how to get views on YouTube. I watched a lot of YouTube videos, and while I watched them, I studied myself. Here's the questions I'd ask. Why did this thumbnail get my attention? Why do I want to click on this video instead of the other ones recommended to me? Why do I feel like clicking off this video after only 25 seconds? Why do I feel so good watching this video? Why did I watch this video all the way to the end? This intimate immersion into great videos gives you a strong sensitivity to what a great video looks and feels like. So then when you're making your own videos, your gut feeling for what to do for both the little details and the big ideas like the whole video idea will be very accurate for what to do. And this sensitivity of yours has been trained by studying the content that has millions of views. So it must be that other people will feel the same way about what you create as you do. And this gives you a really good, thorough understanding of all the details that go into making something that you personally love. And this will be very useful for making your next videos. Hey, what's up? So if you've been learning a lot about how to start your YouTube channel or grow your channel, get more views, and you've been learning a lot of information, but what you really need is just the instructions for what to literally do step by step, then I made you a free roadmap that just gives you the simple instructions for the actions to take. And I've structured this into different stages for having a YouTube channel, so you can quickly figure out where you're at, what's important, and what to do. So check it out, first link in the description, totally free. And yeah, back to the video. Real quick to recap, we just talked about the process to getting a really strong intuition to be able to make great content. But now, knowing what a good video looks like is one thing, but you still need the actual skills to be able to make a great video. When I started my Learn by Leo channel, I'd been making videos for 7 years at that point. So I already had all of the necessary skills to bring whatever my ideas were into reality. But if you don't yet have those skills, then what is the most efficient way that you can get all of the necessary skills with the video editing software, with setting up your camera and the lighting, with recording your voiceovers, being on camera, all of that? What is the fastest way you can get those skills? Well, the simple truth is you have to be posting videos. But now you can't learn everything all at once, so unfortunately you have to post kind of crappy videos and then keep building up from there. But you can improve much faster than you'd think if you know how to take the big steps forward in this learning phase. So what I would always do to save a bunch of time and just identify the biggest area for improvement that I had right at that moment is I would take I still do this actually, I take my favorite videos, inside the niche, outside the niche, whatever videos that I, as a viewer, feel like is the most entertaining to me. Take those videos and then just compare them to what I'm working on right now. And I think about, okay, what do I feel is the main difference between what sets my video apart from that one? And then I just am able to figure out what do I want to work on. This is also really inspiring to be able to see how your video could be better. So then what I've done is I've always found tutorials strictly on an as needed basis. So as soon as I've identified my next step for improvement, I will study that video that I really liked and then try and find the tutorials that would teach me how to do the same thing for my video. And now the thing is, finding tutorials can be really, really hard. And I remember I used to spend forever trying to find it, but that's where AI has become incredibly useful. I'm going to show you what my sort of process looks like for using AI. You can pause and read what this looks like. But this is where you don't know how to describe what you're trying to do, but you just need a tutorial for it. And AI is able to help you so much with that. So check this out. Now, the third ability I had before starting this channel is I had the right thought processes. I had the right kind of philosophy for getting views on YouTube. I knew what was important and what I could ignore, which ultimately what it comes down to is the algorithm is trying to give each user the best, most engaging experience. So what you need to do is just ignore everything else, just focus on posting content that is the most engaging, best experience you can possibly give to people. And what this looks like is the best videos are let's say it's a 10-minute experience that is worth people's time to watch. And then it has that title, thumbnail, intro at the beginning, which is what makes it obvious to a lot of people that this video is worth their time to watch. So at the core of it, what we're doing as creators is we're looking at our lives, we're looking at the stuff that we're doing that we feel is worth our time, the stuff that we find really fun, the fascinating information we've been learning, the stuff we feel is really important to know, stuff we're curious about. And then we're taking those important things and then trying to share them with as many people as possible. We're trying to bring as much attention as possible to the stuff that we find important and just try and share how we feel about it. So what you need to understand is, why is something fun to you? Why do you find it intriguing? Why do you feel like this thing's important? And then once you understand why you feel that way about it, you can figure out how to make other people see it the same way as you do. And that's what this really comes down to. For example, with storytelling, it's just about taking an experience and being able to share it in a way that other people can go through that experience in the same way that you felt in that moment. And then also with sharing information, if you think something's really important, if you say find something really fascinating or important, you're just trying to get as many people as possible to see it and benefit from it the same way that you did. Now, I'm going to explain this whole philosophy a little bit more in another video I'm making later about why you should not pick a niche, actually. So I'll put like an info card on screen or something like that. So at this point, you have those three abilities. You have the sense for good content, you have the skills to make it, and you have the right kind of thought process or philosophy. Then you're at the same starting point that I was before I started my Learn by Leo channel, which means we're on to step 2. This is where you got to ask yourself, why should anyone care about your channel even existing? So we have to figure out, why should your channel exist? Why should anyone pay attention to you at all? So what you need is something special to offer to your space. And what this is normally going to look like is some unique perspective or experience or stylistic taste or something different that people can't get from any other channel. So for example, with my channel, I'm in an informative niche, which means these videos are just people talking about stuff. So I want you to picture all the creators in my niche as a room full of people talking. Who gets the most attention? It's the person with the most unique perspective, the person with the most to contribute. So the way I went about this is I made my thumbnails have a unique art style, which makes it look like my videos are unique because immediately upon seeing that thumbnail, you see a unique art style that you haven't seen before, and you already have this impression of something new, something novel. And then my videos gave some new insights and explained things in a different way and had a unique art style overall. So now imagine if they hadn't had that. Imagine if my videos were the same as others. Well, who are the first people that the algorithm recommends a new creator's video to? It's the people who are most likely to enjoy watching that video. And who's that? It is the people who are the die-hard fans of the niche. It's the people who have already watched a ton of that sort of content already. Those are the people that have heard it all before already. Therefore, they won't enjoy a video that says some common advice. And the algorithm then sees that even the audience of die-hard fans for this topic are not enjoying the video. So the algorithm kills the video before it can ever take off and reach an audience of people who are maybe not so heavily invested in the niche. So as a new creator, if you're not finding some ways to be unique, to contribute something new, have some unique perspective or take on things, then you're really fighting an uphill battle. What you need is you need to be able to cater to the experts, the die-hard fans of that niche and that topic, as well as the masses of casual viewers. But this all brings us to a really big dilemma. How do you offer something new and know it's any good? What if no one's done this thing before because it's just a bad idea? So that's where the third step comes in. You need to be your own target audience. If you offer something new, let's say it's a new style, a new intro format, a new thing to do in your videos, new topic, new lesson, whatever. The only way to know if it's any good is to look at it yourself as a viewer and judge if you like it. But the thing is, you have to be in touch with the other viewers. If you're out of touch, then your judgment for what's a good idea is pretty bad judgment. So to be in touch, you have to make videos that you yourself would enjoy watching. You have to be your own target audience. And then you also have to understand why what has worked already did work. Because if you understand why 10 viral videos went viral, you understand exactly why they went viral. Then now you have a pretty good understanding of what it's going to take for the 11th video to go viral. And that's going to be the one that you're making. And here's another thing to look out for. When you're exploring the landscape of your niche, what do you as a viewer feel like is missing? Pay attention to when you're clicking off of a video early or when you don't click on some video. And ask yourself, why is that? Why am I not interested in this? And that's going to steer you in the direction of finding new things to contribute that you as a viewer would be a good fan of. So now we're just missing one last thing. You have the sense for what good content looks like. You have the abilities to make the content. You have the right kind of thought process, philosophy. You have a good understanding of your audience. What's missing now is you need the actual ideas for what your content's going to be. So step 4, getting ideas. So what you need in any informative niche is to have a lot to talk about and then have ideas for how to bring attention to what you have to talk about. And of course, you are aiming to have something special to contribute. So you don't want to spend your time looking at what everyone else is saying, or else you'll just be echoing them. For example, on my previous channel, Yerd Steel, what I do to get ideas for videos is I'd scour the game's wiki pages to learn more about the game, as well as having played the game for thousands of hours. And then on this channel, I've been making YouTube videos for 7 years when I started this channel, and in my personal experience, I've gathered quite a bit to say about YouTube. But now, what if you're not in an informative niche? How then do you get video ideas? Well, you just need fun things to do. You need ideas for things you can do that you would have fun. If you have a fun experience, just something that you do that you feel is worth your time to do, that's something that you can share with people. So you can think about what you already do day to day already, and you can also get inspiration from someone else's video and then put a little bit of a twist on it. So that's what it's taken to gather the sort of raw material to work with. But now we need the video ideas in terms of the packaging, the title, thumbnail, how we're going to structure the video, stuff like that. So let's look at how I came up with the ideas for my first couple of videos on this channel. Each of these videos can be seen as just me sharing what I consider the most important things I knew about a specific subject. Titles and thumbnails, then intros, then making good videos, and video editing, and then getting ideas. And now the tricky part of these videos is the question of how do I get as many people as possible, as interested as possible in what I have to say about this subject? And this question is kind of like a signpost pointing you straight in the direction of the best idea for your video packaging. So it's worth writing that down to use for later when you're brainstorming title and thumbnail ideas. And now for maximizing your creativity, here are the 5 best pieces of advice that I would send to my past self for getting the best possible ideas. First, for each video, I like to maximize the time I spend brainstorming what that title and thumbnail is going to be. So I begin thinking about that first before anything else, and then I continue thinking about the title and thumbnail through the entire process of creating the video. That way I've maximized the opportunity to get as many ideas as possible for how I'm going to have the title and thumbnail for this video. And then second, I don't do any active brainstorming. That's really missing the point of how ideas are formed. That would be like a chef struggling really hard to make a meal because the fridge and pantry is empty. What you need is to go get ingredients. And now ingredients for ideas are experiences, conversations, experiments, anything that brings in new information to your brain. So it might be even reading books or articles. And most often, the best ideas need to be built up to. Great ideas are always built upon lesser ideas. So you normally have to play around with your bad ideas. For example, you might have a title and thumbnail, and it's not the best idea, but you just create it, look at it, and that's going to get you inspired to get an even better idea. So you have to play around with the bad ideas to uncover the great ideas. Now, tip number 3 for a thumbnail, some of the main advantages you can have is to make it really simple, make it recognizable, and to make it look special. That's what I went for with these videos. I tried to find the one thing to put in my thumbnail that said everything that needed to be said. Tip number 4, the fertilizer for creativity is inspiration. Every idea is building on some other idea or a combination of a bunch of ideas. So you really want to maximize the amount of inspiration you're getting. So go out and explore YouTube and find as many videos as you can that really inspire you creatively and really engage you. And then of course, got a lot of views. And then take everything you can from them. You really want to steal like an artist and take your favorite parts of all these videos. Now, tip number 5, the sort of creative process in general I have for getting video ideas at this point is maximizing what I have to talk about. So reading a lot of books, doing a lot of studying, just to try and gain as much insight to share as I can. And then I'm also trying to figure out the best ways to bring attention to what I have to talk about. And then a really important question I want you to keep in mind, I would actually write this down, is to look at everything through the lens of how can I make this as interesting as possible to as many people as possible. Because anything that gets your attention, you can figure out a way to make it get a bunch of other people's attention as well. If you can just understand why you're interested in it or why you have fun with it, and then figure out how to share that with other people. All right, so hope those steps cleared things up. And if you want more clarity for your whole YouTube journey, then I've made a free course for you. So if you've been having kind of an issue where you learn a lot about YouTube, you have a bunch of information, but you don't know just a clear roadmap, a clear step-by-step, just some simple instructions for what to actually do to grow your channel, to learn what you need to learn, get more views and all that, then go ahead and click the first link in the description and you can join my free school community. There's going to be the free course roadmap thingy, and then also there's the whole community aspect, and I'm gonna put some other random free content in there. Got a bunch of book highlights I've been reading, just some more content to learn. And then instead of just having a bunch of information and you don't really know where to start, you can instead have this little step-by-step thing. It's gonna be a lot simpler. So I'll see you in there. Okay, and I forgot to record A-roll for this part, sorry, but whatever's on screen right now is whatever YouTube believes is the most important video for you to watch. So I'll catch you in that one.